Well, this is that super secret bonus spectacular Star Wars themed bonus round that we talked about. We did not want to spoil it for anybody who listens to the main show, but here we're free to say what we want. So I will be nice. I will say, if you accidentally clicked on this link and you do not want to hear Star Wars spoilers, get the frig out. Like, go.
This is not the main show.
Goodbye. This is uncensored Star Wars talk. I'm sorry if I spoil things for you, but everyone here has seen it.
If you want the regular show, click on the link above you or below you.
I have seen it. I've seen 216 minutes of Star. Or is it 116? I feel like 216 would be.
16 is like 3 hours.
Would be like a long ass movie. That's like Braveheart like levels, like too much. But I've seen it. Mark's seen it. Mr. Brian has seen it. I'm struggling today. Mr. Steve has seen it. We did give Gerald a boot. I know you guys like him a lot, but he has not seen it, so we asked him to leave nicely. But I'm just going to turn it over to you, Steve. I know you wanted to talk about it.
Steve is itching.
Time
I'm itching.
Time out. I think what we should do is just a brief overview. If you don't mind, I'll go over it. You guys can kind of chime in, and then we'll give our thoughts. Is that fair? Okay,
Yeah.
So pretty much it starts off with Poe Dameron. He is getting a secret mission, a map to find Luke Skywalker. The whole premise of the movie, where is Luke? He's disappeared. It's been revealed that the First Order, they want Luke. They want him gone. They are hunting him down, led by Snoke. Is it Snoke? Snoke is like the Emperor
Supreme
version.
leader.
And then Kylo Ren is the Vader, pretty much. And then there is a General Tarkin type character as well. Long story short, they attack the base, and that BB-8 is given the plans. Poe Dameron gets captured.
The soccer ball-looking droid.
Exactly. They then get taken to the new ship. Like, it's pretty much just remnants of the Empire.
Yep.
And he gets tortured, yada, yada, yada. We then are introduced to Finn, who is one of our male protagonists. He's a stormtrooper, does not want to be a stormtrooper anymore. He helps Poe escape. But Poe they crash, they seem they're dead. Finn then stumbles onto Rey, who has BB-8, and their whole story starts. I'm kind of trimming out the fat that you don't really need to give you guys a better idea. They escape on the Millennium Falcon, which is apparently just laying there in a scrapyard.
A trash ship.
But they escape and they get captured by a ship. Turns out to be Han Solo and Chewie. Long story short, they fly to a planet to try and find the Alliance, the Rebellion, to get Princess Leia the plans. They are then attacked again. Rey is taken by Kylo Ren, and the whole point of the movie now is to save Rey, and it's revealed that Poe is still alive. They go to the battle station of the Rebellion. They look at the plans. Finn, again, they've really had a relationship with Rey and Finn to where they're kind of like lovers. They're going to be lovers, things like that. And a lightsaber is discovered, right?
Yes.
And so it has been confirmed it's Luke and Anakin's old lightsaber.
Luke and Anakin's lightsaber calls out to Rey while she is in the palace of Maz Kanata.
Exactly. So Rey is now captured by Kylo. There's an awesome interaction between those two. And the whole objective now is to blow up the new Death Star, which has been revealed to be an entire freaking planet. And it's called Starkiller, if I remember correctly. And it has the ability to blow up multiple systems at multiple times from very far range. They demonstrate this. So now they're going on a rescue mission, very similar to the first movie, where they have to try and rescue Rey, and they have a time limit to do it with not good odds, and they have to blow it up. They then go, it's revealed that Kylo is Han Solo's son, so they lead an expedition to turn down the shield generators, which may sound familiar from
A New Hope again?
A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. They go on. Han Solo dies. He's killed by Kylo Ren, who's his father. Long story short, they blow up the Death Star. It's ridiculous. There's an awesome lightsaber battle between Kylo and Rey, and it's revealed that she is, in fact, the Force child that everyone's been concerned about. They blow it up against odds that, this thing's huge, and they had maybe 15 ships. And then at the end of the movie, Finn is very injured. We don't know if he's dead or alive, but Rey pretty much leaves to find Luke Skywalker because they've completed the map. He finds him, and it ends with her holding out his lightsaber to embrace the Force and take it back, and him not doing anything. That's the movie. I know I trimmed out a lot. Please go see it for yourself. If you've seen it, you kind of know why I cut certain things out. But let's turn it over to you guys. You've seen it. Feel free to put in anything that I omitted. Let's just get initial reactions in more detail.
I absolutely love the film. Honestly, I was so excited for this. It was the most excited I've ever been for any movie that I can honestly remember, and it delivered on every aspect. I know the main criticism is it basically follows beat by beat honestly, of A New Hope, and also takes elements from both Jedi and Empire, including set pieces and even dialogue in certain parts. But honestly, it was the feeling that Star Wars was back. I just loved seeing the Millennium Falcon fly again. I loved seeing lightsaber battles that didn't include flips and CG characters. It was a blast. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Hitting on your point, and I enjoyed it. I'm not going to repeat everything you just repeated, but I said my word earlier was stale. I love the movie, great experience, but I just can't help but sit there and say, we've been here before. I'm seeing exactly what I saw before. How many times are the Rebellion going to blow up the Death Star? They're freaking 3-0. Like, The Empire Strikes Back is so good because the bad guys win. And Steve, I know, listen, I can see it in your face
Steve
right
is
now.
still fuming.
I can see it in your face right now. I wanted to give a good perspective, an okay perspective, and we're going to go straight into your views on the film.
Okay, I guess I'll just preface it by saying I didn't hate the movie. Like, I still thought it was a good movie. I would give it above 5 stars out of 10.
Oh, that's an okay movie.
More like a 6.5. Like, I thought it was a good movie. I was entertained the whole time. But like you guys have said, like, I was just so mad that they didn't get creative with it to develop a new plot. It's just like, okay, like, yes, this is Star Wars, and is it like they want history to repeat itself sort of thing? Maybe, I don't know. But I was expecting a lot more and a new story. Like, these are all new characters. You have every chance to like take the creative aspect and do whatever you want with it. They even said they're scrapping the books. But they just recreated A New Hope with new characters. Characters are exactly the same. Storylines are exactly the same. Plot points were exactly the same. Certain parts and like scenes looked exactly the same. Dialogue was exactly the same. And I just felt like I was watching the same exact thing. There were several other things that I was very disappointed about, which we'll get into. But overall, I was very disappointed. I thought that they had so much liberty to do a lot more with it, and they just didn't.
Mark.
Now, for a casual fan, I think it's a great film. It's definitely a new hope for a new generation. I think that's a great way.
It's a great way to put it.
To sum it up. For a new generation, it is a new hope. A lot of the beats are the same, but I think there are a couple of cool things about it. Finn, he's an interesting character. I can't wait to see what more there can be done. Could there be a romance between him and Rey? Possibly, I'm not sure. There's a rumor that they are casting a love interest for Finn for episode 8. So
I thought he was dead. Is he not dead?
No, he's not dead. I don't think so.
They said
he's not
They
dead.
said after like that scene was over, they blew up the Death Star and they were back with Leia. Like the first thing that was said was there's a heartbeat.
I must have missed it then.
No, he's not dead. He'll be back. There could have been more chances. I really hope for episode 8 with Rian Johnson directing it. I really hope more chances will be taken. I hope some new stuff will come about, and I hope for the short of it, they won't repeat a lot of the same stuff. This can't be the old trilogy rehashed. Mm-hmm. But that being said, I still think it's enjoyable. It's still a great movie, one of the great movies of the year. It's just great. If you haven't seen Star Wars before, jump into it. It's fine.
Yeah, you absolutely don't need to have seen the original movies. Sure, it would help you in terms of context and some characters, but this is really for anyone that wants to be introduced to the world and is not quite sure about it. Like, this will get you in there. There's humor, there's fun, there's action, there's excitement, and I honestly think for even the hardcore fans, yes, they do put it in a position of familiarity, but that next film, especially with Kylo Ren being basically the antithesis of Darth Vader, and Finn being, a great character we can follow, and Rey just being this amazing, strong Jedi that I'm sure she will be. They've got a great position to go forward.
I will say this. I did like Kylo Ren. What I liked about this film is they did not wait to answer questions. They told you he was Han Solo's kid first hour.
Yep.
Kylo took off his helmet first hour. You know what I mean? They're not shying away from those mysteries. Now, they didn't reveal Rey's origin stories, which is a big question mark.
Well, it's rumored that her and Kylo Ren are twins. But
I'm saying no to that one.
No? Well, it's interesting. That was like a big rumor.
Yeah.
And they just threw that out in the movie. Yeah. Could it be answered later on who she really is and where she came from? Maybe she's Luke Skywalker's daughter. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, one of my biggest complaints, and this just might be the world that we live in, absolutely 100% totally predictable in every aspect of the way. Kylo Ren, Luke's apprentice, gone bad. Luke Skywalker. I don't want to boast or anything, but when we were talking and doing our predictions and Dark Luke theories, I nailed the crap out of Luke Skywalker's screen time. I told you he is barely going to be in it. He was not bad, and he was going to have a minute of screen time, if that. And you guys were like, no, Kevin, no, you're stupid. What are you talking about?
Yep,
Well,
I was totally wrong on that.
face on you, mother effers. Face on you. But on a more serious note, I disagree with your point that you made to where you can just kind of jump into it. Can people do that? Sure. But they definitely need to watch the original trilogy because I feel like a lot of the mystery is set up on the Star Wars lore. Who is Luke Skywalker? I thought he was a legend. What did he do? You really got to feel for Luke. And going back on that, when you see Kylo struggling, and the great thing about Kylo is his training isn't complete.
Yep.
He is not a Sith Lord.
Sure isn't.
He's struggling with the light side. He says, grandfather, I'm struggling. Show me the way. I'm not as bad as I'm trying to be. And he has Darth Vader's helmet. So I feel like it's really important to see Anakin's story and see that Anakin wasn't pure evil because there's no doubt in my mind that Kylo Ren is going to flip-flop.
Well, then again, the first movie that everyone ever saw was Episode 4. It did not start with Episode 1. They had to go back to tell that story. So I think people can jump in. They feel like the important beats of it. It's a fun movie. Anybody can jump in.
I'm just saying, like, when, the scene in New Hope where Obi-Wan is talking to Luke about his father, Anakin, and, we fought together in the Clone Wars. Like, you didn't need to see any of that stuff to get a feel for the excitement and the theory and the mythology of Star Wars to enjoy the next film. And I think this is a perfect, I was just telling this to someone who's never seen a Star Wars, but go see The Force Awakens. Like, don't even worry about seeing the next ones. This is a perfect way to get you excited about the world.
The action is great. The music is great. The worlds are great. It's a great movie.
One thing about the music, could they not have picked another song? Like, come on. Like, it's the same song every time. Like, what is up with this guy? Can we not find somebody else like John Williams? Lame. Like, come on.
If only Danny Elfman was available.
If only.
Greatest hits is just over and over again. Did they even play the Empire or the Imperial March throughout the entire movie?
Right
They
over
played themes of
Kylo's. When Kylo was looking at Darth Vader's helmet, they played one beat of it.
Oh,
For the old fans, they had to throw that in.
so
the
boring.
themes.
Allie, look at me. I was bored. Give me something new. Come on.
Okay, so let's get a little bit more into this movie. Let's break this apart a little bit.
Sure.
You said that you liked the character Kylo Ren.
I did.
He was, aside from being a remake of A New Hope, that was my second biggest complaint was how they developed Kylo, or like his character. In the previews, they make him out to be this super big badass, like he's going to be the next Darth Vader, or he is the next Darth Vader. In the very beginning of the movie, when they capture Poe, somebody shoots at him and he's just like this super badass. He stops it with the Force like in the middle of nothing, and he is just like, wow, this guy is serious, this guy's legit. And he is like that. You see him a little bit immature later on when he has like this raging fury of this, young 20s, maybe older teen,
It's like a teenager
kid.
messing up his
He's just
room.
like taking his lightsaber and just like so mad.
Well, I think they really they hit the nail on the hammer. Kylo Ren, very strong Jedi, very strong. But I think he was twisted, very similar to Anakin, and he's trying so hard to be what he's not. You got to keep that in mind with Kylo Ren's character. They really got it when he was trying to get into Rey's head, and she turned it around on him and saying, "You're afraid you'll never live up to Darth Vader's."
Which I would be fine with, but in the previews, they set him up to be this guy that's going to be, he's the next Sith Lord, he's the next Vader. The first half of the movie, he looks like he's like this super badass guy, and then out of nowhere, it was like no transition. He's trying to interrogate Rey, and she outwits him with the Force, or like resists him with the Force. And you could see him standing there. He has his mask off. He's quivering. Looks like he's about to cry. It's like, who is this guy?
He did just murder his dad.
Well,
Before that,
I like the insecurity. I mean, that was a surprise to me. I thought for a split second that he was going to turn good. And then he killed his father. And I was like, oh, okay.
No.
Before that,
for a split second, I thought he was going to turn.
Even before that, though, like before the scene with Han, he was interrogating Rey, and you saw the weakness, like a huge weakness in him right there. Why did they even take the mask off right there? It would have been so much better to.
And my theory is that he knows Rey. I'm going with the theory that Rey is Luke Skywalker's daughter, and I'm backing this up. That's
agree.
why he takes the helmet off, and I'm backing this up with when General Hux comes to him, or not Hux, another Imperial officer. They say the stormtrooper Finn escaped with a girl, and Kylo Ren turns around and he goes, "What girl?"
No, he
Imp-
definitely
implying-
knows. Definitely.
Implying
He knows who
knows
she is.
that that's Rey, and seeing Rey for him is the prospect. You know, he is the daughter of Luke Skywalker, the Jedi, but he knows he's the bloodline of Darth Vader, and he's the complete opposite. And I almost wish Kylo Ren is exactly what I wanted Anakin to be in the prequels. So powerful, but he just doesn't know which way to go.
Is he though? An untrained Rey, like yes, she is one with the Force, and she's the Force child, but an untrained Rey.
Remember, his training isn't complete.
Well, right,
Remember
but
that.
an untrained Rey kicks his ass in that fight scene.
will-
But she's not entirely untrained.
I will agree with you, and here's my problem with Star Wars. The reason why the prequels are so great, it really expanded the universe. We got to actually see how awesome the Jedi were. A lot of people crap on the prequels, but I like that. My biggest complaint with Star Wars is that there's always two Sith, and there's always an old Jedi, and always the potential for this new up-and-coming Jedi. And I agree with you. Rey should not have been able to beat Kylo Ren. Just like Luke Skywalker, a guy who's been trained 3 months, should not be able to defeat the most powerful dark Jedi of all time. It's stupid. It makes no sense, but that's just what we get with Star Wars.
And here's the thing, too. If you go back to the original 3 movies, at least, like, Luke had Obi-Wan, like, in his training, and then he trained with Yoda. Rey, she's had 0 training before. All she has is the Force, and she doesn't even know really what the Force is. She's just kind of experimenting with the Force. And Kylo, whether or not he has his training done, to make him get his ass kicked by Rey is, I think, absurd. Like, especially if you're setting him up to be like this super big, like he is the villain, or he's going to be the villain.
Well,
in this next series.
Well, now he's going to school at the end of the movie. He's going to complete his training, and Rey is going to undergo some training. So I think they'll each be more powerful.
it kind of makes it seem that Snoke, is that his name? Snoke is very disappointed with Kylo too. So he realizes that maybe he's not as strong as he once promised. So he's like, I need to complete Kylo's training, you know. And he also wanted to bring Rey with them. And I always feel like the Sith are always looking for the next best option. Same thing with Luke and Anakin and what's his face, Christopher Lee's character, Count Dooku and Anakin. You know, they're always looking for the next big thing. That's a good way, I think, to think of it. And if he can get rid, and that's the whole problem with the Sith. There's no attachments. They're a lot closer to the Jedi than you would think. They're just Jedi who let themselves go, and they will turn on you in an instant. And I definitely foresee that happening. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Kylo is not a bad guy. He's just struggling internally in the heart and the brain.
Yeah, very excited for where things are going to go in Episode 8.
Overall, if you've never seen Star Wars or if you've seen the originals, it's not a bad movie. It's a great movie. Is it the Star Wars that hardcore fans want? No, probably not. But it's still a great movie to jump in, and I can't wait for the anthology films in Episode 8 and 9 and see where it can go. Hopefully not repeat any of the other beats in the original trilogy or the prequels. Hopefully more risks will be taken.
I just want to know, where's Mon Mothma? What is she doing? What the hell? Like, we had that one guy who was like, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Well, Leia took her spot.
Like, what the hell?
Leia's in charge now,
Mon
man.
Mothma better be friggin' dead. That's all I gotta say. Like, they have put her in the prequels, the original trilogy, the Clone Wars, which is still officially canon. I need more Mon Mothma in
Is
my
Captain
life.
Phasma dead?
No.
She better not
No?
be. She better
She
not
was
be.
thrown in the trash
I think
compactor.
she's going to be very similar to
wasted.
she's going to be very similar to Boba Fett, where she's just completely underutilized, completely.
So she's definitely alive. Finn definitely alive.
So let's go around one more time and just get, out of 6 Robins, let's just give it a ranking.
7.
Steve,
3.
Mark.
I don't know Robins, but I'll say 7.
I'll say 5 out of 6. It was good. I loved it. Nonstop action. I really liked the effects that they did. It was fun.
Star Wars is
I will
back.
say this.
It was a fun movie.
There's a couple things I appreciated. I appreciated, like, especially it was on film. I liked the way that they did transitions, kept it with the old theme of, you know, the movies, you know, different, like, you know, wipes and that was fun. I did like it. Again, I don't think it was a bad movie. Just overall disappointed.
Much better than Guardians of the Galaxy. And with that being said, which is pure garbage. With that being said, thank you for listening to the bonus segment of Boys to Nerds. I hope you guys agree with our thoughts on Star Wars. Again, we're getting episode 8 a lot sooner than we think we are, so questions will be answered.
We're only about 346 days away from Rogue One.
Woot.
Yep.
Woot. So thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back next month in January. Until then, may the force, is that what it is? May the force. Remember when they were like, I'm going to use the force, and he's like, it doesn't work that way. Funny movie. May the force be with you all.